Okay. Why? I think that's the first question I always start off with when I review a currently popular song. Why is this popular? But more than that, I think the question I have about God's Plan by Drake is, why is Drake popular? That's a stupid question, right? I like Drake. I like tons of Drake songs. I think he's great. I've said it over and over. I don't begrudge him his success. He deserves to be successful. I'm just saying, this successful? To be clear, this is the Drake decade. When the decade ends, I'm fairly certain Drake is going to be the single most popular and successful artist of the entire 2010s. Unless, I don't know, Post Malone makes Thriller times 1,000 in the next year and a half. It's really funny to go back and listen to Drake's first couple records where he's basically almost neurotic about what's going to happen when the fame runs out. Because it never did. Last August, Drake ended a record-setting streak of literally 8 straight years in the Hot 100. And if anyone thought that might mean we're getting a break from Drake, a Drake break, if you will, nope, he returned at the beginning of this year, and since then he's nestled himself snugly at the #1 spot. And it's proven that even over 8 years, we hadn't seen anything yet. Measured in purely chart terms, God's Plan is his most successful single ever. Not Hotline Bling, not Best I Ever Had, or any of his other songs with a tune and a point. Nope, God's Plan. So surely this is some undeniable killer jam, an out-of-nowhere banger that everyone's dancing to and talking about.
Bad things, it's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing, they wishing on me. Yeah. Bad things, it's a lot. They gon' tell the story, shit was different with me. God's plan.
This is God's plan, huh? God works in mysterious ways. Honestly, I've heard basically nothing about this song. I mean, I've certainly heard it a bunch of times, but I haven't heard any real buzz about it or anyone, like, talking about it. The only thing I've heard generating any real reaction is the video, which admittedly is pretty cool.
Anything you guys want in the store is free, so grab whatever you guys want.
In fact, because YouTube streaming counts for the Billboard charts now, I'm fairly certain that's why this song is so big. See, according to the title cards, he took the entire video budget and instead of making just another shitty, boring rap video, he just gave it to people who had an actual use for it. I'm cool with that. That rules. Good for him. But let's be real here. Let's not make more of this than it is. Don't tell the label. Come on. The label doesn't care. Because one, it's not really the label's money anymore, because the label just deducts the cost of the music video out of the artist's paycheck anyway. And two, Drake's getting a huge promotional boost out of the video, which is what a video is supposed to do. He used that money exactly how it was intended. It's still awesome that he gave away all that money, this is great. But he didn't punk the label or anything. Wait to see if he does it a second time now that the novelty's gone. And as for my own stake in this as a critic, look, none of this has anything to do with the actual song. I mean, yes, there's a throwaway line in there about feeding people.
I made sure that Northside eat.
And I guess Drake wanted to put his money where his mouth is, which, again, that's awesome, and Drake's awesome for doing it. But that's still only one line. And if I'm right, and video play is the reason that this song is so big, that means that essentially he had to give out a $1 million bribe to get people to listen to the song. So what's the premise of the song? Well, as far as I can tell, it doesn't have one. It just kind of drifts here and there. There's the title, at least, which does answer my big question, why is Drake popular? According to Drake, it's all part of God's plan. And bitches love me?
Long as my bitches love me, my bitches love me.
Also part of God's plan. That was God punishing us for our sins. Now God's plan has got this dreamy, kind of drowsy beat, like most Drake songs. It's not the best Drake song, it's not the worst Drake song, but it may very well be the most Drake song. It's like his entire career in a nutshell. Now we start with Drake being a dick to women, as you do.
Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me.
I guess the intent is to establish what a baller he is, that he doesn't give a shit what she wants. I don't cuddle, I just fuck. I guess? Actually, I don't know. It doesn't sound to me like he's being a pimp or anything. That's just a reasonable expectation.
Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me.
I mean, 6 in the morning? Someone shows up unannounced at 6 in the goddamn morning because they need to cuddle. You can fairly call that high maintenance. I have to get ready for work.
Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me.
So it's not like he's a player or anything. He's someone who has reasonable boundaries. I don't think that's what he was going for. Okay, if God's plan does have any kind of point, it is this.
Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me.
Drake has people who wish him ill.
It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish.
Look, Drake, I'm sure you have haters. No one gets as big as you without haters. It's just, who are they? Do you know them? Are they rival rappers? Critics? Assassins? Vampires? The only person I've ever seen really come out and attack you is Meek Mill. And you own him so hard, he's in jail now. But it doesn't even matter who they are. How do they make you feel?
Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me.
Do you interact with them in any way? How do they affect your life? Are you angry? Unbothered? Depressed? If I had to guess by the tone, maybe he feels that it's unfair that people wish ill on him, considering all the good he does and what a big name he is. But that's just a guess. Who the hell knows what Drake's feeling in this song? He delivers everything in that trademark Drake monotone. If I had to guess, it makes him feel overly Xanaxed?
Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me.
Is it? Is it? You sure sound like you're pretty peaceful. You sound peaceful enough to be comatose. Look, he doesn't seem to feel anything when he talks about people wishing bad things on him, so I don't feel anything either. I think he's just leaning on rap cliches. Which, fine, even a lot of the best rap songs are like 40% cliches. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the parts that stand out. Explain to me why it is God's plan that you are the biggest rapper in the world.
God's plan. God's plan. I hold back sometimes I won't. Yeah. I feel good sometimes I don't. Like, no. I feel good sometimes I don't. Like,
my God, it's brilliant.
I feel good sometimes I don't. Like,
this is what separates him from the rest of us mere mortals. Who is Drake? What makes him tick? What's going on in his psyche? Well, there it is.
I feel good sometimes I don't. Like,
he feels good, but sometimes he doesn't feel good. It's an amazing insight into who Drake is. Unlike the rest of us who apparently only have one emotion ever. And it's not just brilliant wordplay, I mean, look at that reversal. Just sheer poetry. But also, it's the entire appeal of Drake as an artist in one sentence. He feels good, sometimes he don't. You can separate his entire discography into that binary. Feels good, doesn't feel good. Feels good, doesn't feel good. And this is the first time he's synthesized his two sides into a fully fleshed whole.
I feel good sometimes I don't. Like,
the duality of Drake. You know, I'm joking on him, but I'm realizing here I'm also kind of serious. Drake's big thing is spending at least as much time not feeling good as feeling good. And most rappers are extremely limited. They only have one mode. If you're lucky, you'll get one or two songs out of them where they're not either happy or angry. This is, in fact, what makes Drake stand out. And I guess there's some buzz about this line.
And you know me, turn the 02 into the 03, dog.
What does that mean? There doesn't seem to be a definite answer.
Turn the 02 into the 03, dog.
Some say that he's so big that he increased London's O2 Arena to an even larger number. Or some say it's a reference to the time when he played the O2 and refunded everyone's ticket out of his own pocket, so it's O-free. I like both these explanations because they're both equally witless and unfunny. But I choose to believe that he means he can turn oxygen molecules into ozone via his own production of ultraviolet radiation. Earth science humor!
Science rules.
And of course, if we're going to talk about the lyrics that do stand out, besides the tired stuff, we're going to have to talk about the line.
She said, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. 50.
Now, I have heard this line a lot.
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry.
It's like the one lyric that people have latched onto. It's like a meme now. I thought that was because of how stupid and bad it was. But it wasn't until I saw the video that I realized Drake is super fucking proud of that line. I mean, he drops the beat so everyone will notice it. In the video, he's even got everyone singing along. He wants you to hear it. This is the centerpiece of the song. So let's play it one more time and really dig down into it.
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry.
So by partly, you mean no.
I tell her only partly.
Yeah, that's what that meant. No, I don't love you. I only love my mom and my bed? Loving your mom, cool. Loving your bed, Okay, now if this were in any other circumstances, the obvious conclusion would be that he loves his bed because he gets to have sex in it. But if that were true, you'd think he'd have at least an equal amount of love for the actual person he's having sex with, but he loves her only partly, by which we mean not at all, so it's not the sex. Perhaps it's just a status symbol, like his car. Maybe it's just a really fancy bed. But most rappers don't really show off their furniture. That's like a chick thing. So I think he just really genuinely likes his bed. Maybe he's got one of those cool race car beds with Batman sheets. He loves it. He feels warm and safe there. This is how I imagine Drake. Thinking about it though, I totally get why this is the line he's most proud of in the song. It's because it's the worst line in the song. I don't know, maybe I'm alone on that, but to me that's a terrible lyric. But it's okay, because it's Drake. And Drake's greatest asset has always been his ability to lean into things that would have marked lesser pop stars as permanently uncool. Yeah. I mean, look at it objectively. He was a child actor. He reps for Canada. He has a name like a preppy bad guy in an 80s movie. He was literally a running joke for being soft. He released a song where he drunk dialed an ex. And yet every time you saw him in real life, he looked like he didn't sweat it for a second. He lives to be memed. So me, random nobody on YouTube mocking him, I'm only making him stronger right now. So I guess my problem isn't that it's a bad line, to me it's not bad enough to be really interesting. I don't know, maybe it's just Drake's monotone. He talks about feeling good and not feeling good and feeling unpeaceful, and he does it in the exact same tone of voice.
They wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing, they wishing on me.
Drake has always sounded a little lethargic, but I feel like even more so than normal on his song. In fact, is that what loving his bed is all about? Does he love his bed because he needs a nap? Actually, is that it? Maybe that is it. Maybe that's why the song's so big. Artist momentum and a good video can't cover this much success. Maybe this half-baked, chorusless, barely a song hit a chord because everything is exhausting now and we just want to lay in bed for a week. No, I'm still not feeling this song. I tell you what, I at least kind of get it now. Even though I'm not a fan of it, I've listened to this song a bunch now and I haven't really gotten sick of it either. Part of being low-key is that Drake never seems to wear out his welcome. It's nothing new, and at some point I would like Drake to start stretching himself again. But, you know, it'll do for now, I guess. It's just not his best work. I don't know. I like Drake, sometimes I don't.
Trust me, we're nothing without our mothers, so thank you.